What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite knives that are being slept on right now, and we're going to kick it off with the OffGrid Knives Enforcer. Now this is not a new model from OffGrid. This is kind of in between their old stuff and their new stuff, but this bad boy comes in right around $60, guys. It comes in 154 cm, and OffGrid does a phenomenal job with their 154. You have a nice, useful, modified sheep's foot blade. Decent blade stock thickness here, comes down pretty thin. You have some nice jimping up here on the spine. Beautiful textured G10. This stuff is ultra grippy. In the bare hand, very, very grippy. If you have a glove on, it's also going to be very nice. You know, if you're a tradesman, someone who has to wear gloves for your job, or whether you're just wearing gloves around the house to do yard work and housework, this thing is going to be a prime candidate for you. You have the flipper for deployment, and you know, that is OffGrid's thing. They use a lot of flippers, and the reason is because it's easy to deploy. Whether you're using gloves or not using gloves, you'll be able to deploy this guy very easily. And that's a big deal when it comes to someone who depends on their knives, uses their knives often. You need to be able to get it out of your pocket and get it open easily. And that is the whole idea behind their knives. They design a very functional knife, and that's the goal. They have a nice deep carry clip that's been recessed along with the screws. Great access to the liner. It has great lockup, solid lockup. It has great action as well, and it came razor sharp out of the box. Definitely a sleeper. Next up, we got the Real Steel Pathfinder. Guys, this thing blew me away when I unboxed this thing. This thing is so impressive. 14C 28N on the blade steel. You have a nice stone wash tumble finish on the blade. Nice straight back drop point style blade. You have 2 rows of jimping. So they give you actual usable jimping in 2 different spots. So that is a very nice touch. You have a fuller for aesthetic purposes. Double thumb studs for deployment. And you have a nice, strong crossbar lock with great tolerances. I have tested this one as far as the lock strength, and it is good to go. You have nice G10 handles here, very well finished. You also have a full length backspacer, making this thing ultra comfortable in hand. If you are looking for a full size knife that is a little overbuilt, but not too badly, that is going to be ultra comfortable. You know, you have internal milling in there, full length backspacer, nice contoured edges, very soft in the hand, very hand filling, tons of blade there to do anything that you would need to do, solid lockup, and these come in at a great price. You have a deep carry, ultra deep carry steel rollover clip that is recessed behind the scale, and then you have recessed clip screws, also going to be left hand friendly as well. Knocked out of the park from Real Steel. For my first Real Steel knife, this thing is an absolute sleeper. I don't hear enough about this knife. So you're looking for something even cheaper than the previous two. NedFOS Dolphin, guys. This thing comes in around 25 or 30 bucks. You're going to be getting D2 steel with a PVD coating, drop point blade. It's very short in its stature, but it comes down nice and thin. They put a great edge on these. The detent is tuned very well for the thumb studs and the flipper tab. These come in at a very affordable price. You don't have no branding on the blade, no logoing, no nothing. They just have a nice little N on the pivot. Great job on that. You have a deep carry steel rollover clip that is functional and it works. G10 handles. You have this laminated carbon fiber overlay on the G10. Great access with the chamfer to the liner, and this thing is a sleeper for sure when it comes to that ultra budget category. This thing is knocked out of the park. And like I said, the action on this thing is so good. The NedFOS Dolphin, don't sleep on it. It's a good one. Next up, I'm bringing it out. We have the new breed EDC Clydesdale. I am not hearing enough about this knife. I'm hearing about it, but not enough. This thing is so well done, guys. Kooby OEM'd. You're getting 14C on this nice, tall cleaver blade that's been hollow ground. You have this nice straight edge. You still have a pokey tip on this guy the way it's designed. You have a great place to put your fingers if you really need to do detailed work. Has a nice satin finish on this guy. Great cutout and front flipper for the deployment. And the detent is tuned to perfection on this thing. Has a nice little ting, sometimes anyway. And titanium handles. You have titanium for your pocket clip and backspacer. Very well rounded and softened. All DLC'd hardware. Great access to that inset liner with a nice little chamfer there. The action is drop shut, incredible. And the lockup is solid, guys. Tested it myself. Solid knife. And these are still in stock. They won't be for long. This thing is a game changer when it comes to the materials, the price point, and the build. This thing is a sleeper, no question. If you have the money, go out and snag one of these because it is incredibly well done. They come in right around $120 or so, and that is a fantastic price for this knife. And I haven't been hearing enough about this knife, guys. This is a new one coming from Kooby. We have the Bluff 14C 28N on the steel. You have a high polish sandblast drop point blade, fuller and cutout for your deployment. This thing has great tolerances in there. You got some nice fine jimping up on the spine. Great access to that crossbar lock, and as this thing is broken in, it has just gotten nice and smooth, strong open, and a very nice close on this thing. Great springs in there, and this is going to be adjustable just like the Kaiser clutch lock. It's basically the clutch lock. It's adjustable in 3 different variations of light, medium, and strong. Internal milling on them steel liners, making this a nice lightweight knife. Bridgeport collaboration. Very nice pocket clip, and it's going to be reversible, open construction. You have a lanyard post, and you have 2 standoffs there. Just a great little EDC knife coming from Kooby, and I'm not hearing enough about it. The G10 is very well finished, nice and grippy. Going to be a great user. Do not sleep on the Kooby Bluff. Next up, we have the O-Knife Roboto. As much as I hate that O-Knife on the front of the blade there, and I wish they would get rid of it, the knife is still fantastic, guys. You have a Tanto 154 cm blade with a PVD coating. It came with a great edge on it. I've been beating on this knife since I got it, and it has just held up extremely well. You have dual thumb studs for the deployment. And the way this crossbar lock is, guys, it's just, it's very strong, but it feels like it's just been broken in so well that everything is just so smooth. But even on the open, you get a nice, strong, great feeling when you open this guy up. It's just really well done in there. I'm not sure what kind of trickery they're doing in there. I'm pretty sure it's Kaiser as the OEM still. And that means this should be adjustable. I haven't had the scales off, these G-Mascus scales off to try it or to see. It's something I need to find out. But the way this is done, it's nice and soft. You can get to it very easily. It's comfortable in hand. You have that nice Tanto blade that's going to be great for utility work, depending on, what your day-to-day is. It's going to be great for carpenters and that sort of trade side of things. If you do detail work, it'll be great for that. Scraping, that sort of thing. It'll be very well-rounded, and just basic EDC, of course. And it's going to be a fun knife to carry. This is a knife that you don't really hear much about, and they have a couple different versions with a drop point, I think a sheep's foot. They have the Tanto, and these come in at a pretty good price as well. The only thing I do not like about this knife is the branding. That is the literal only thing I would change on this knife. It is so well done, so comfortable. The 154 is great. Just a banger. And this knife definitely gets slept on. I think the O knife drives some people away, and then other people don't like Tantos, so there's that. The crossbar lock, some people love them, some people hate them. So it's kind of going against the grain in some senses, but there's a lot of people who love Tantos and crossbar locks. So it's in a lot of people's wheelhouses, and it's also not. But the O knife in the center of the blade, that's got to go. But this is definitely a sleeper. It's funny how quickly we can forget in the knife world. And it happens, and there's a reason. It's because we see so many get released every week, every month. Hundreds and hundreds a year. Lots more than that. The Vased knives, RS Chaos, guys. This is being slept on. I'm bringing it back to your attention, guys. This thing is so well done. They are in stock right now as of me recording this. I hope they still are when you see this. But White Mountain Knives has the M390 version right now, and I believe the LMAX one still as well. But they definitely have some in stock. And this knife, guys, if you're looking for a fun knife to carry that is still utilitarian based with a nice strong lock, a fun lock with that compression button lock, a great useful Wharncliffe blade, or they have a sheep's foot. They are very similar. You still have the nice straight edge going to that fairly pokey tip. A unique looking design. You have these etchings right here in the blade that match the handle. You do have a dual ground LMAX blade on this one, and I do not mind this dual grind at all. It doesn't bother me one bit. I love the full finger choil. You just have so much control, guys, over this thing that it is so comfortable in hand. Whether you're in the choked up spot or back here, but you might as well live up here in the finger choil. I was running this thing very hard, putting it through carpet. And if you know how tough carpet can be, this thing just blazed right through it. It's so well done. The full length back spacer here made out of tie pocket clip, anodized aluminum pivot collar, incredibly well tuned. Multiple opening methods with the cutout and rear flipper tab, and the minimal rear flipper tab is very well done. And like I said, the action on this thing is twice that of the Spyderco Smock. In my opinion, of course, this thing is an absolute sleeper. Do not forget about this thing. And for the guys who think you don't get much cutting edge, let's get the new roller out. You're still getting 2.5 inches of cutting edge. So that's not, nothing to sneeze at. That's plenty of blade length to get the job done. Trust me, I've been using it, been carrying it, and this is just a great design, a unique design, and it's getting slept on. $250 for this, guys. All titanium, M390 or LMAX. This thing is just phenomenal. I love the RS Chaos. I've become a massive fan of this knife, and it's just so well executed. Let me know what some of your favorite sleeper knives are right now that people should not and cannot forget about. Leave them down in the comments. I'd really like to know what you have to say. and that might give me ideas for the next sleeper video. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel or you've been here before and you are not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple new videos. Go check one of them out, and I will catch you on the next one.